Hi and welcome to my series Message with Music. My name is Michelle D. I'm a reader with a certificate and I'm also comparing everything to other sciences. But today I just want to do my daily video in the series. So I already said the name Message with Music, and the name has its sense, let's say. So I just wanted to have a name or a title for this particular series, just to have the freedom to give you exactly the messages that I want to give you. And that's why it doesn't call like something with oracles or something with spirituality or something. It's just Message with Music. And my channel is about spirituality and soul growth, very much, when I want to say it like that. If you believe in that or not believe in that, I see my life and myself actually as an experiment with hopefully the highest intentions for the best in you, the best in me, and for the best life that we can live. All right. And so today there's Message with Music. In this series I do always something else, you know, so I have the freedom here to actually do whatever I find is appropriate and maybe important for one person or the other who's clicking here and enjoys my videos. So sometimes there is just a talk or just, you know, my thoughts about any issue or any theme. For example, today about the loneliness. And I have a lot to say about that. And so the name is actually that what you get here. It's a message. And in the end of these videos there is a song, so you can just stay tuned and enjoy the whole film till the end, and there will be a song what I did alone on piano maybe, or something with band, but maybe I pick now for today really something that I produced completely alone. I have here some music that I did only with my mobile phone. I'm also filming with my mobile phone here. So I don't want to make here any commercial or something, but let's name it. So it's a Samsung. It's a Samsung Note 8, but it's not about that here, right? I just wanted to mention it, and I did it on my own. I made a voicemail, so you know, we as women, we can just put the mobile phone into our, how to say, into our bra, basically. You know what I mean? So there is the little microphone, and so I put this mobile phone in a way that I can sing to the microphone, you know. So when I just look down, then I see my mobile phone and the microphone, and then I sit in front of the piano, and then I sing my song. And you know, what I want to say with that is, of course, I want you to enjoy my videos and to enjoy some nice music, hopefully nice, right? And share my videos, of course. I would also appreciate that. But on the other hand, I just wanted to show also with that it's a difference if we talk about aloneness and if we talk about loneliness. Doing these kind of little video clips that you're gonna see in the end, one of them is not loneliness anymore, it's aloneness. And I also understand that everybody sees something else in it. So, you know, there are people who like to be more alone than other people, but the most important thing is to just really recognize and to accept what you are, and not, of course, what other people think or feel about it. I hope that's clear. But of course this is not clear for everybody, because everybody has a different certain kind of life. Everybody is in different relationship structures. When you live alone, then most likely the loneliness will be maybe more often in your life taking place. But you can also feel very much alone in a relationship with maybe wrong people. Whatever, however you live, whatever is appropriate for you. Why loneliness today? Why I chose this topic for us? I just saw right now on YouTube a documentation. So it was a talk, not really, yeah, I don't know how to say it. It's not a documentation, it was like a talk show with prominent people. Do you say prominent? It's maybe a German word or something with, let's say, stars, okay? A talk. I'm sorry for my English, guys. I am not a native speaker, so I only can do my best here. But it was a talk, you know, with famous people, let's say. Famous people. I'm here in the German-speaking Switzerland, yeah. So, you know, I'm speaking German naturally, or just I grew up with the German language, and you know that there was a German talk about loneliness with some famous people who are which are famous here in, like, say, Germany and Austria and Switzerland a little bit and so on. Okay, and so there are famous people, but also some people who are not famous. It was just about people in general who actually have experiences with loneliness. And there was a monk who left his family to be alone in the hills, in the Swiss hills, were actually very, very much above on a hill, where he actually had to drive maybe 4 hours or something to the next village to see people. So that was like really somebody who really chose the aloneness. How much of that is really the aloneness and how much of that is the loneliness in his life, he was talking about in the talk, okay? There was also a famous woman called Jenny Elvers, and she's an actor, a German actor, and she had an alcohol addiction. Now she's playing again the roles, and she was talking about loneliness, lonely hotel rooms, alcohol, and perfectionism. Sorry, I come back. Just have to wash my hands. And then there was also the ex-wife of, I forgot the name, Siebert or something. So also a German couple. So who are very, very often on TV also, and you know, he was a gourmet or whatnot, and they were talking about food, you know. So I think they were also cooking live or something like that. And there was also a famous couple who were actually very, very present on TV, on the German TV, and he died, and she is maybe around 70 or 80 years old or something, and so an older woman. And she was also talking about loneliness, and she was saying, like, she doesn't want to feel that loneliness. She doesn't want to go into this feeling of loneliness. She doesn't want it because loneliness has something poor. Yeah, it has something something poor. It's so poor, you know. I felt like she was saying, like, it's an feeling that makes yourself poor, and you see yourself smaller as you are through this feeling. But interesting, she had really tears in her eyes saying that. So I really believe in the fact, and this is just my own thought, that we have to allow ourselves everything what we feel in the same moment, and it's not easy. So I am working with tarot cards, and don't click away if you're not into it. I don't wanna. I mean, it's not my intention to say everybody that they should believe in tarot cards, or you know what I mean. So we are talking here only about loneliness, and I'm doing my readings and my spirituality because. And you can believe me that, because I'm doing it really for over a decade. I started it for my own truth-seeking, process. My cards were always my best friends in a way, like, for example, if I was standing at a crossroad and I had a decision to make, then I always say everybody, my clients, just everybody I'm telling that, guys, check the facts, right? Check if that's possible or not. Really check the law, the facts, everything what's coming to it. See it realistic and so on. But sometimes we just want to see what will be if I go this way and what will be if I go the other way. For example, you choose between two jobs. This is only a random example. And you want to know how will I feel in this job number A and how will I feel in this job number B or something, okay, what I mean? And what do I earn maybe on the long run here and there and so on. And this is stuff, I just used my cards only for myself in the beginning. And always when I was at the crossroad, I was asking. And I became so good at that it worked out for me always. So my predictions for myself were around 80% truth. Yeah, 80%. I find it quite good for some printed papers. You know what I mean? And then I thought like, okay, this experiment has its truth. And then I don't, question it anymore so much. Then I think like, okay, it works. If it wouldn't work, this channel wouldn't be online. So easy as it is. But today we talk about spirituality, but still I'd also want to talk here about spirituality, but I'm in my life very rooted and grounded also in spiritual concepts, because I'm testing them, how I explained right now. Everything I put into a test. A new guy I'm putting into a test, yeah? Are the words I love you true, or is it a false mask? Yeah, I'm putting that into the test, everything. And that can really be annoying sometimes for people, yeah? But you know what I mean. Of course it's annoying. For those who actually are not so true and loyal or something like that, it is fucking annoying, okay? But, be annoying, yeah? For your own truth, for your own happiness, be sometimes also annoying, yeah? Because otherwise, So, yeah, life can be different. People can be different, yeah? The theme loneliness is really something that is unfortunately also more and more a kind of trend. Became it, yeah? I think this TV talk, what I was mentioning, was very much something, I mean, when you make TV shows, when you make talks on TV, then you always have the dollar in front of your eyes. You want the people to watch your program, right? For that you're doing that. Of course, the stuff is also costs money. You have to invite the guests and whatnot. All people who are actually doing the production, they also cost money. It all costs money. Okay, so at least you have to find a topic. You have to find something that most likely the most people will be interested in, and they are also sitting in these TV companies, let's call it. I don't know how the right word for it is. Also maybe psychologists, I could imagine. I mean, I don't know. I'm not doing these productions. I don't know it, but I could imagine that they also work together with kind of trendsetters and psychologists who are also socialists. I don't know what the English word, but it's people who study the society and the trends in the society. Also about, psychology and stuff, in a way that, that there are really scientists also working to really find out the topics which might be the most interesting for the majority of people. And it is no coincidence that this talk is about loneliness, I believe. How that really works, in a TV show like that, And who's sitting there and working for a TV show like that? I don't know for sure, but I could just imagine it, you know. So these were my own thoughts. I'm not working in a field like that. But anyhow, so they try to get so many people as possible to watch this talk, because everything costs also money to produce it and so on. And I believe it is no coincidence. And I believe that this trend is more and more. But the other trend is also more and more. And that's that you can make friends all over the world, all over the place. We have the internet. The internet is really a gate to the world, but it's also a danger. For example, when you're married or something, you know, everybody can, you know, have also other contacts in the world. And, you know, it's everything. With everything, you have to deal. Yeah, you have to learn to deal with everything. The internet is a very young thing, yeah. We don't know how to deal with that. We don't know how to save our children for, you know, pedophiles or whatnot, whatever is really going on there. So these are also dangerous chances and dangers. But I believe it's wrong to say it's just the devil only. This is also a chance, a gate to the world. And we are here in a spiritual field. So I don't know how spiritual you are. You don't need to be spiritual to, you know, be interested in this topic of loneliness. Yeah, you can also ignore the spiritual stuff and just, you know, let me talk about loneliness. It is not the point. I don't want you to be, you know, the same spiritual and whatnot. This is not the point. I just want to actually help. Yeah. I want to help with these videos. Of course, my channel is also growing through these videos. Let's say, hopefully, okay. But, you know, I don't get any cent for it, basically. Yeah. So, I am, and now, you know, it's a part of my life, spiritual systems. That's why I mentioned them. For folks who are interested in human design. So, I don't know if you know human design. It's super interesting. Human design is showing the person how they really are. So these are some symbols. There is a picture, a graphic. It calls the body graph, for example, in the human design. So you can check your human design type and aura if you want to. You don't need to, okay? And for example, my aura type is dense and tense. It's hard. I'm a manifestor, and I have an aura which is very, very close to my body. I'm very independent on one hand, but also very emotional because I'm emotionally defined. And I'm a single definition. That means I am also a relationship type who needs people to feel whole in one sense or another. That was very much in my childhood, that my family was very important. My grandma was important, my cousins were important, my aunts were important. And I'm also a 6-3 profile, and what happened? We left the country. So that was the first trauma. My parents maybe didn't get that because my mom is actually a generator, but she is a single definition. So she's quite, she doesn't understand that, you know, you can cry over the past. But for me, it was a drama. And it was many, many years after that a drama. It's actually, when I'm honest, still a drama, yeah? To really think that what you love can be gone. This is for me something, you know, which is still a problem. So I better be alone than actually, you know, go into these relationships that can end. So this is something, but this is, you know, I don't wanna make your life heavy with my shit. This is not the point. But you know, if somebody can talk about loneliness, then it's me, you know. But on the other hand, a manifestor is very creative on his own feet or from within him or herself. And that's true. So I recognize that in my life. I mean, I'm now 37. And I always earned the best money, the most money with lots of fun in the less time when I was working unemployed, not unemployed, no, sorry, my English, okay. No, when I was working alone, for example, and had my own clients, was just, how to say that, independent, you know, not employed, okay, with my own company. Self-employed. Ah, yeah, this is the word. So everything what I do alone is gold, and everything where others are inviting me is actually in the longer run and in the end, I saw it like that. I don't want to say it will be always like that, but on the longer run, it was always worse than if I did it on my own. And it's so important. It's so interesting because I saw it so often. And I can really spend hours alone and I love it. So for me, 80% of my aloneness is really aloneness. And only 20% is loneliness. And when the loneliness comes, well, sometimes I'm really brave and I deal with it. And I really cry and feel the pain or call somebody. But, you know, I'm not that good in telling somebody that, you know, help me, please. Maybe I could learn that a little bit more, but yeah. But, yeah, I mean, you know, we have friends, we have this, we have that. But, of course, our friends, they don't have always time for us, you know. I mean, this feeling of loneliness can just come from one minute to the other sometimes. Or not, yeah, you know. But you can also, like, know yourself and know, like, okay, I need my 3 days alone. And then it's nice to be with people. And I'm German. And with my partner in the past, we went to Switzerland. So you can check that. I don't know where you live, if you know that. So, you know, these are two different countries, basically in Europe, let's say. And we went to Switzerland, and we lived together. It was everything fine and so on. Then the relationship also ended after a while. So. And then I was really lonely because Switzerland is for German people not really inviting. You can find your friends, but it takes longer than in Germany. The mentality is just a little bit different. I love Switzerland. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to work here because the money is so good. So, you know, to work here and very friendly people. But the friendly is good and nice and so, but also on distance, yeah? So till you really find your people, the time is actually quite lonely. Could be. So in my case, it was like that. But I went so much into spirituality, so I was doing yoga very much. I was doing yoga and really yoga siddhis yoga siddhis is about powers, mental powers, to gain more power in the world. It was nice to check that. And that was my most motivation to do it, to have contacts to the spirit world. And I had so strong contacts to this contacts to the spiritual world. I knew I was actually alone from people in physical bodies, but I knew I was not alone. I really saw them. I saw faces, they were speaking in my dreams to me. It really was a very interesting time that I'm very, very grateful for it. So I really saw that we are not alone. The spiritual world, and you know, you can now, again, you don't need to believe that or whatnot. It's a video only about about loneliness, yeah. Take really that what you want. If the spiritual themes are too much for you, then just also know it's just a part of myself, and you know, I cannot ignore it, I won't ignore it, but still you can just pick from this video that what you need, and only the spirit, the loneliness part or whatever, yeah. So we are all different, and that's it, yeah. And it was really, if you are clairvoyant, clairaudient, or what, or if you're not, you know, maybe you believe me this just, but we are not alone. Your friends, your guiding angels, everybody is just around you, and that's really a fact, if you see them or not. With this knowledge, I saw my loneliness with really, really different eyes. Jenny Elvers, this actor in this talk show, she was talking about perfectionism, yeah? A quite, you know, beautiful actor, now like 46 years old, but who cares? She looks still gorgeous and is really doing a very great job. But she was like really, really perfectionist. You know, she had this sickness called perfectionism, that she was making herself so much pressure that she couldn't sleep. Then she was alone in these hotel rooms. She could make yoga CDs too, you know what I mean? But this is really a manifestor thing. Now I switch again to human design, that we just do stuff on our own, and we want to be alone very often. But there are also generators, and you can check your human design, maybe only for curiosity. I don't know if you're interested in, because, you know, there are so many people in this experiment right now. And you can really see also relationships, how the mechanics are from relationships, who is really the emotional one, who really needs this, that, or whatnot. And we are so conditioned also from our society, from family and something, that we don't see ourselves very often. You know what I mean? And human design can really say you like, you reacted always emotional, but actually you're not emotional. You're only that emotional when somebody is around who is emotional, and you amplify that. So think about it, when you just hear like that, something like that, and you were always emotional or thought you were, you know, then you can just, you know, experiment with that. For example, next time when you're emotional around a emotional person and you amplify it, because in the body graph, in your mechanics, we can see it, who you really are, and what is the cause of this amplification of the feelings of maybe other person, then you can really experiment with these information very actively. You can go to, for example, then when you feel these emotions again, then you can go for a walk exactly in that moment and then really recognize, hey, I'm calm. They were the emotional types. I am calm. And this is just, you know, and then through this knowledge, the peace comes in. We just see in a kind of body graph, and you can, for example, you can book a reading with me, and I include the human design into it. So we actually always can work on a theme. For example, you want to know how a person feels for you. We can look that in the card. We can also see your both body graphs, and I can also say like, what is really the theme in your both life. And that's what's in our body graph. This is something we also do very often, actively, because our body is doing that anyway. Okay? So there is the gate 36, and that's the crisis, for example. And then we can also see how can you really deal with this crisis? Yeah, it's an emotional thing. Emotions come and go. Crises come and go. Very often we cry, and then the next day everything is okay. But in the moment we cried, we thought that the world is ending. And I am emotionally defined, so I'm the type that gives the emotions. And the hysterical people who amplify the emotions actually are not that emotional. And they also recognize that when they're alone. Period, yeah? So easy it can be. When you just see mechanics and you don't see the emotions in the first place. You just see just the energy and the mechanics. And I am emotional, and I can deal pretty well with emotions. Also with lonely emotions. And I also dare to cry, okay? And I know that after the rain comes shine. I mean, there is really this... It's not a stupid song, it's just really the truth. I mean, I really thought that, oh God, I'm gonna, you know, it will be the end of the world now. And the next day was everything cool. Yeah, perfectionism, you know, we can only, in these 48 hours what we have, you know, in this time of a day, we can just be that good as we are. And what they also said, and I found that very, very interesting, that painkillers, you know, these medicine there, painkillers, they tell the brain they also kill loneliness. Pain and loneliness are very, very similar functions in our brain. That's why painkillers are also helping against loneliness. And this is not a tip for you to do that, not at all, because when the body recognizes that it helps in the first beginning or in the first run, then it can be addictive. You can get addicted to painkillers in the same way when you have physical pain, in the same way if you have emotional pain. And that's the devil in it, right? And this actress, she was actually, you know, having these painkillers and also alcohol on that, and I would just say, you know, hallelujah. I mean, and then she was really at a point where the doctor said, like, you would go on 2 more months, and then, you know, you would be dead. It's okay, you know, to go for a walk outside and really recognize, what do I feel? My time in Switzerland, when I was alone here, spiritual people, like me, for example, and very emotional people, or just, you know, sensitive people. I am a type like that. I'm a Pisces, and I have so many weird Pisces in my chart, so I'm really sensitive. And I also see and feel the thoughts of others and their whatnot, and it's complicated. Yeah, it's better to, sometimes it's nicer to be dumb. Okay, you know what I mean, yeah. But, you know, I'm laughing, but, you know, so I had this time here, and often, you know, often spiritual people think like they really need a soulmate to talk to, because you are not in the mood to talk about random stuff. You are not maybe in the mood to really, when you're spiritual, when you're very much into those topics, you're actually at a point not really in the mood to talk about any stupid stuff, let's say, or any daily stuff or something. This is what I thought. But these were only my thoughts. And there are these internet pages, so like spontex.com. There's also meetup.com. I had my experience with spontex.com. So basically it works like that. You make an event. For example, you want to go playing tennis tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Only a random example. And then people see it, so who live near, close by, or just in the same city, at the same place than you. And then you just just join this event, or you make yourself an event. You say yourself, like, okay, I want to do this or that, who's joining me? And I promise you, I mean, I don't mean it in a way like, I thought I'm better than anybody else because I want to talk about spiritual stuff and I want to have a soulmate. No, it was not in a way like judging anybody. I'm not judging at all. I'm just judging sometimes generators. But this is something else, you know. Every cat is like running behind a mouse. No, I'm kidding, guys. Don't take me too serious. Don't take life too serious, because I was really seeing the opposite of that. What I was in the mood, and I believe that could be also the beginning of a depression. Even that you don't want to go anywhere. Your brain is telling you like, no, I don't go there. Oh no, it will be boring, because everything is so boring already. You know what I mean? But when you just really go, you recognize that it was the best thing you could do for yourself. And then you recognize that just being together with others gives you so much joy. Because you're doing nice stuff, you know? You're not hanging around anywhere where it's not nice. You go in a nice restaurant, for example. Or you just do a nice hobby, yeah? You go to the cinema together. So these are just also activities which are nice, which everybody most of the time enjoys, or the majority of us. And then you recognize, like, you are just only human like others, and you need just other human beings, point. And believe me, so there are also groups where only like over 50 people are meeting. You can also, you know, say in the event like, please people like kind of over 40 or something. And then you don't have, you know, like 16 years old who actually go in the group and think like, oh, everybody's so old or something like that. Because that happens also, you know. And the spontex thing is really very much a very social thing. Then it becomes so much for everybody. And if this page, for example, is not in your country, for example, this is really a Swiss thing. So here in Zurich, you can do a spontex. Meetup is also a page where you can just, you know, meet people and go join groups. This is a little bit different than spontex, but it's similar. So you can also just meet people, yeah? You have to, if you want to know more, just go to Meetup and check it yourself, yeah? And I think Meetup is all over the world. I'm not sure if it's in America or something, but I think so, yeah? I think it's really everybody, all over the world. But if you're interested, you know, I'm not a pro in that, so you have to check it on your own, please. And guys, so it was really saving my life. And only because your brain is not in the mood for something, then just believe yourself, or just believe me, it could be just the beginning of a depression, that you don't, you know, that you don't get up from your sofa, okay? And then if you really go there physically and just, you know, do this experience, it's just so freeing and so nice. And then, you know, I was like very often then on these events and was really doing very interesting things and so on with nice people. And then you recognize, because the city is small, right? More or less, wherever you live, but you know, it's just a city, or it's just the same place, and you know, and then you recognize that there are actually all the time the same people, and then you get to know the same people. You just see the same people, and then, of course, and then you form friendships like that, and you're in. So me as a single definition and a very emotional one, and a Pisces and all of that, what I mentioned, I'm shy. You wouldn't think that, but I'm freaking shy, and I really have to work on myself to get out of my comfort zone. When you see my channel, you wouldn't maybe guess it, but it's really like that. But I'm also, you know, a little bit like this clairvoyant kind of type, and I also sense other people, what they think, and you know, I see how they look, and you know, see the eyes, see the gestures, and I can guess pretty much, you know, I don't know if a friend is standing in front of me, or an enemy, or a friend of me, you know. There are also very nice friend of me, you know, who are actually talking then later about you, but I'm kidding, yeah? No, I'm kidding, guys. So, so of course, you know, the world is dangerous and interesting, but, yeah, at least, you know, I recognize that other people are also afraid. They were also nervous. And then you think like, okay, everybody's nervous, so then I can just stop being nervous because they are nervous too, and you know. Yeah, just, this is what I wanted to say. I mean, I love it to be alone. I'm a mani. And as a manifestor, I just, you know, I love to be 3 days alone. Really. And having just few clients per day. I just have my clients here and there. You see my stuff here. Certificate here and there. Yeah. So, that's it. Love that. In a way like that. And then I think like, okay, now it's nice to have a nice group, some nice activities, some laughter, some party. That's too. Okay, so, you know, that was my talk about loneliness. I think I stop here. Maybe it's an inspiration for you. Maybe you know somebody who would need that now. Okay. Just share it, please, to all your friends and family all over. Don't be shy, just share my videos and be nice. Give it a like. Be nice, come on. And yeah, you know where you find me. If you have any issue and you want to know some, then you can reach out to me. Underneath of this video is my website. There are all contact data, so you can write me anywhere. If you're interested, for example, in my work, okay? So it's not an obligation or anything. Just enjoy the videos as long as you want to. For that, I'm doing that. And guys, if you're interested, I have an info text for you, and there is just standing anything. So you can just, purchase the text like, hey, Michelle, I want to know something about your spirituality or your work here with cards and so. Could I have information or something? You don't even need, and I just give you the text. You can read it, and you can reply to me whenever you want to, or just not, because it's just only for information. All right. So this is how I work, and I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful time. Whenever you find this video, it doesn't matter if you find it today or years later. I hope I was at service for somebody. And if you don't have Meetup or something, don't have Spontex, I mean, there are so many Facebook groups also. Nobody needs to be alone. Sometimes we need to be alone, but only to see that we are not alone. And it's so nice. Bye.
Brownish eyes, left her home for something carefree, with a heart that's open wide. She's a girl, promising and pure,